He was a nice medic. He said, if I turn all this in, they gonna keep you here. I said, what you want to do? Do you want to stay or do you want to go home? You know what I told him? I want to go home.
So he lied to get you through.
To get me, I don't, but it's been so long,
We won't
almost
mention names.
so 50 some years almost ago. So he let me go through, but it actually kind of hurted me on the long run for, because I could have had that on my record by me not having it on my record. But anyway, they that night they had a USO show in Tacoma, and the GIs would get on the bus and they asked me if I wanted to go. I said sure, and they said it could be some beautiful girls there, USO thing. And so I went, and it was this big old hall, and all these beautiful girls was on. I hadn't seen nobody in so long. I'd been to myself out there in them boonies by myself. It was a wall full of young ladies, and they came over and asked me, say, you wanna dance? Real nice. I said, I used to love to dance back when I was younger. I was a dancer, but I said, sure. So she came and they was playing some music where you slow dance like, and when she put her arms around me, I began to shake. I was shaking.
Why were you shaking?
I don't know. I was shaking. I never had that human touch or something. Nobody touching me. And I was just shaking and trembling. And she looked at me and said, you all right? And then the other guys seen me shaking and trembling. They came and got me and set me down. But that had happened again when I took an R&R. Then I realized something was wrong with me. I went to Taipei on R&R, a place called Pacific Hotel. And when you get off the plane, they have these little cabbies. Each cab have a name on it, what hotel they taking you to, and there was 5 of us. And we went there, and again, they had all these beautiful ladies, and one of them chose me, and we had a big old suite and rooms, and they treated us real nice and gave us good food. And I went to sleep, and the young lady was in next to me. I woke up at night, and I felt something next to me. I went crazy.
It triggered something.
Uh-huh.
It triggered something.
It triggered. I just started hitting her. I was just hitting her, and she was saying, "Gi, buku, dinky dog, boo." But I was just hit. Then I come to myself. I realized I never had anybody that close to me out there in them boonies.
Right.
And after that snake incident, I always kept my weapon on auto. They would never hardly come by me where I was at because I had kept my hand on it. And but I was just beating her, because I felt that next to me. I thought it was a goop because
You didn't know what
I
it was.
didn't. And it was dark in the room. It was dark, and after that incident, then when I got to Fort Lewis, Washington, I knew something. Then that's when my first wife, she divorced me because that night I would have them nightmares and
Terrors, trembles.
trembles and wake, and I'd come out of it, she'd be sitting in the bed looking at me, like she was afraid, but
How were you treated when you came back? When you finally
Oh.
got back home?
when I
On
found,
home soil, how were you treated?
when I got to when I got back home, it was, I remember we were supposed to fly into Detroit, but it was a storm over Nevada, somewhere in Nevada, and we was in the plane circling. It was lightning, it was dark, you could see the plane, you could see the lightning, and it was 6 of us. We said, oh Lord, I said, if I ever get off this plane, if this plane just land, I'm gonna catch me a cab, I'm gonna catch a bus home. So that's what we did. We got us a limousine and went to the bus station. By the bus station, so I ended up coming into, I think it was Louisville, Kentucky. And I had my uniform on. I was sitting there eating, and this old guy came up to me. He had like a stack of money or something, and asked me would I help him go to a hotel because he had all that money. He needed somebody to escort him. And by me being a little naive at that time, I did. I went to I said, I'll do it when I get to eating. So when we got out out the bus station, we was at the stoplight, and some said, keep looking up. I looked up front, and it was up front, across the street, it was an alley light. I could see two heads peep out and then did back like that.
That's a little suspicious.
That was too suspicious. And I looked at the guy, I said, 'cause I was raised up with street sense. I said, no, sir. I said, I can't go. Then this white girl ran over there to me, and she said, I seen what happened. She said, is you all right? I said, sure. She said, where you going? I said, I'm going to Detroit. Then from there, I'm going to Saginaw. She said, well, I'm going to Bay City. She says, I'm going to watch over you till you get home, till you get where you're going. And she took me on that bus, and we didn't move, and she was right there with me all the way. Now, she was real nice, but they was trying to rob me. And then when I got home at the bus station, when nobody at the bus station, it was in the morning. All my little grip I had to walk to a friend of mine's house. No nothing.
No fanfare.
Nothing.
No parades.
Nothing. I got to the bus station. I just got off the bus station with nobody there. I walked to a friend of mine's house, and he took me to my wife's apartment. And he didn't even say nothing about the, it didn't nobody even.
So they didn't even talk about
nothing,
what you went through?
Nothing. Nobody. No family, no friend. As a matter of fact, some of them didn't even know I had been to Vietnam.
And how did that make you feel?
Real bad. Because I love my country. I love my country. And I always wanted to serve because I can remember watching the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts. I joined the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts. I joined, but I could never get a uniform because they would ask me, why you ain't got no uniform? Because at Heaven Riches, a Boy Scout uniform back then only cost $10, the whole outfit.
The whole shebang.
I didn't have enough money to get my Boy Scout or Cub Scout uniform, but I was in it, and then when a friend, James Blocker, he was a veteran, he came home from Korea.
And that's what inspired you?
That really inspired me because I seen that uniform he had on. And,
so what do you want people to take away from your story?
I want them to take this, that, most of Vietnam veterans, we loved our country, and we shared a lot of things together, and we lost a lot together, and some of us came back as we were as teenagers, and we never grew up. Some of us just didn't grow up. Some of us just couldn't handle the pressure. And then when we came back, people disrespected us, and we still we showed a lot of love.
Still had the patriotism.
Still had the patriotism, still had the love and everything, And by me coming off the streets, and where I'm in the position I'm in now, I'm a minister. I just done switched partners. I'm in the army for the Lord now.
Right.
Just switched generals, but I still love my country, God, country, duty,
It's
so.
all there.
Yes, it's still there. And we still love, but people just take us the wrong way, I guess it's about what, how you might say that, stereotyping.
Stereotyping propaganda.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly thank you for your service, Mr. Rice.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And thank you for joining us for this episode of Friendship Focus. Have a good one. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Errin.